Hi guys, it's like 1 a.m. I just wanted to do a little HADESTOWN rant because I love this show so much. I hope that's okay with you. If you don't know me, I'm Nev and I usually do theater and vlog type videos, I guess. But today I wanted to talk about HADESTOWN. I've been meaning to talk in like a commentary video type thing, so I'm going to try it out because I have a lot to say. And I'm gonna start with HADESTOWN. Yay! If you're watching this video, I assume you already know what HADESTOWN is, but if you don't, it's basically a turn on the Greek myth of Orpheus and Eurydice. Very sad story, but the musical is basically a spin on that sad story with a lot of underlying political themes. I have to talk about them, you know, like, I have to. So, I'm gonna start talking about them. I put together some messages I personally believe are in HADESTOWN. For example, a lot of these are shown by Orpheus and how he acts, like staying positive during bad times. I think that's like a big one, is staying positive when bad things are happening.
Let's not talk about hard times, for the while it's summertime.
A gift to give. He can make you see how the world could be. In spite of the way that it is.
Trusting yourself and using your head. We hear that a lot in Wait For Me and Wait For Me reprise, and doubt comes in. What is the line Hermes says?
You really got dread. It's the one that howls inside your head. It's him whose howling drives men mad, and the mind to its undoing. I'll tell you where the real road lies, between your ears, behind your eyes. That is the path to paradise, likewise the road to ruin.
It's like, you gotta use the back of your brain, use it. It's basically like that, but it's said in the song form, so it's so good. It's also about rising up against governmental corruption. Obviously, Hades is corrupting everyone.
I believe in us together more than anyone alone.
We're standing near him.
I believe that with each other we are stronger than we know.
We hear him.
I believe we are stronger than they know. I believe that we are many. I believe that they are few.
We're standing.
And it isn't for the few to tell the many what is true.
We understand him.
So I ask you.
I think it's about the power of music, which, come on now, it's literally Orpheus's entire character. Literally every epic wedding song, why Eurydice falls in love, like, that is one of the biggest themes, like the power of music and how it can like really change someone. I mean, it changes Hades. That's crazy. I also think it's about love being more important than wealth.
I don't need gold, don't need silver. Just bread when I'm hungry, fire when I'm cold. I don't need a ring or a finger. Just need a second.
I really like this theme. Those are just some. There's a lot of themes in HADESTOWN, but I want to talk about the characters because I love the characters so much. Okay, so the workers, they're representative of all of us. They're like a cautionary tale. And I think it's really important when the actors are the same, when they're the like above underground ensemble versus like the workers, because then it shows that like they're normal people. They're just corrupted and their personality gets taken away when they don't have any control over their lives. And I feel like it's also worthy to mention that even though they're hungry when they're above, they're still happy and they still sing songs like Living It Up on Top. Everybody's bouncing around, everybody's having a grand old time. But then when you go to the underworld, even though they're not hungry, they're brainwashed.
Oh, you gotta keep your head low if you wanna keep your head hooked. Oh, you gotta keep your head.
And they don't even know they're trapped because Hades literally makes them forget who they are. They forget their individuality.
I have to go.
Go where?
Go back.
Oh, and where is that?
Don't get upset. You're starting to forget.
They're just working for a living. And without their individuality, they only serve Hades, which leads to a lot of problems because then Hades can lead them to do bad things, and it's propaganda, and they'll willingly be like, yes. I think the biggest example of this is during Paper's instrumental, where Orpheus gets beat up by the workers.
As for you, everybody gather around! Everybody look and see what becomes of trespassers with no respect for property!
And he's basically like a scapegoat, and Hades is making all these people believe that he's the bad guy, and they're not going to question it because Hades is their king. And I think the workers are like the biggest example of like the cycle of HADESTOWN and how cycles are so hard to break, but like every time they do break the cycle, the individuality you see from the workers is so drastic of a change. The workers took off their like headlamps at some point, and that was my favorite part of the entire show. Freaking amazing. But besides for the workers, okay, let's move on to the fates. All right, the fates are also very interesting. I like them because they're not good or bad. I hate that a lot of people say that they're evil or that they're bad. They're not evil. They're scavengers. They kind of just take things from people.
Eurydice was a hungry young girl.
Give that back.
They're vipers and vultures, as Hades says, or at least implies. But they're ultimately just trying to teach a lesson, or at least get a story across. Like, they're conniving and they're vicious, but they're not like downright evil, and they're not trying to kill everybody just to kill everybody, you know?
Take your hand if you must. Ain't nobody but yourself to trust. Now that the chips are down, what you gonna do when the chips are down? Now that the chips are down, and the first shall be first, and the last shall be last. Cast your eyes to heaven. You get a knife in the back, the blood is righteous. I'm coming to you. Who are you? Who do you think you are? Who are you? Who are you to lead her? Who are you to lead them? Who are you to think that you can hold your head higher than your fellow man? Where is she? Where is she now?
And then, like, they spin Hades' like plans, like in Word to the Wise, Word to the Wise.
Damned if you don't, damned if you do. Whole damn nation's watching you. Men are fools, oh, and men are friends. Give up the rope and they'll hang themselves.
So I feel like that entire song, like Word to the Wise, is such like a both good and bad, because they're telling him you shouldn't just kill them off, but they're also saying you gotta make it hard for them to escape the underworld. I just think the fates are so interesting. I mean, they show that you can't really control what happens to you and that you have to adapt to so many things. But even if you adapt, some things just happen inevitably, and they're the ones who cause that.
Why make trouble? Why make scenes? Why go against the grain? Why swim upstream? Nothing changes anyhow.
And I think that's so cool. I love the fates. I love all the characters, but the fates are really cool. Let's move on to Hermes, all right? He tells all the things. He bridges the audience to the characters. Like, the audience is like, so what's going on? And Hermes is bringing them in and telling them and making the audience go, whoa, that was freaking crazy, man. And he's also telling the story while also attempting to change the outcome. So there's like a second layer. Like, narrator characters are usually kind of boring and bland. You're like, oh, you're just a narrator character. Like, who gives a freak? But Hermes, he's like interesting because he loves Orpheus and he cares about Eurydice too.
So I took him underneath my wing.
Girl, coming in from the cold, on the railroad line.
And it's like, I don't expect you to care about these people. He's even friends with like Persephone. And it's like, that's kind of cool because usually narrator characters, they just tell you the story and that's all they're good for. But I really like Hermes because I feel like, unlike the fates, he does care about the story and the people involved in the story. And he's stuck in this like kind of in-between where he can't really completely tell Orpheus and Eurydice everything that's going to happen. But he's still storytelling and he's still helping them.
Of course there is another way, but nah, I ain't supposed to say how to get to HADESTOWN.
Even though he's ultimately powerless against the fates, he's still trying. And I don't know, it's kind of sad because he's like this primary observer, but I feel like he knows the outcome of the story, and yet he's still attempting to help Eurydice and Orpheus. And I feel like that's almost more hopeless than Eurydice and Orpheus, who are just kind of living in the moment without knowing.
Because here's the thing, to know how it ends and still begin to sing it again, as if it might turn out this time. I learned that from a friend of mine.
Hermes is such like a deep character. You can make him really shallow, but I think if you go really beyond, he's a really deep, really cool character. Okay, now we're moving on to Persephone, who is actually my favorite character, even though I don't really have favorite characters because they kind of switch, but her songs are bangers, okay? Persephone's really interesting because she's kind of gone mad, but she's not like lost herself. Like usually when gods or goddesses are like crazy, it's like they're really far gone. But Persephone is usually played as like this sweet goddess who like helps people and is like innocent. I love HADESTOWN take on Persephone. The issue with her is that she's deprived of the things she used to experience with Hades, like physically and emotionally. She's just like deprived. But she still loves her citizens and she loves Hades. It's just she doesn't like HADESTOWN. I wouldn't like HADESTOWN either.
Give me morphine in a tin. Give me a crate off the foot of the vine. Takes a lot of medicine to make it through the time.
And I think Hades and Persephone are foils to each other, which is really self-explanatory. If you don't know what a foil is, it basically means they're two opposite characters that bring out the differences in each other. And that is like, there's a lot of foils in HADESTOWN, okay? But because they're married, it's such an interesting dynamic.
What makes the flowers bloom again in spite of a man?
Keep us free, my children, my children. How does the wall keep us free?
How does the sun beneath it in the sky? It just burns like a fire in the pit of the sky, and the earth is a burn of a spit in the sky.
But I also think she's a reflection of Eurydice, with like her personalities and how she falls in love in spite of herself.
Oh, he said he'd shelter us. He said he'd harbor me. He said we'd
And her and Hades are like Eurydice and Orpheus, just like older and impure. And I'm going to talk about that a lot in this video, but she knows what her husband's doing isn't right, but she still believes that he could change, and she wants to convince herself that she can change, because he's corrupted, obviously, but even though she's like horrified by the person he's become, she's seen who he was, and I think that she realizes that he could change again.
Take it from a woman of my age. There's nothing love can't change. Even when the light is gone, love is reaching for the sun. It was love that spun the world when I was a young girl.
I think she loves deeply, and she obviously is an environmentalist, because she spreads flowers and trees and spring, which is interesting because she's dating this corrupt, money-hungry, power-hungry god.
Just as long as I am your wife, it's true, the earth must die.
But being this friendly, environmentalist, kind lady, even though she's kind of crazy, she helps the workers, she helps Eurydice, she helps Orpheus, she helps Hades, and I mean, they'll throw in Hermes. Like, she helps them all see the light in the darkness. Which basically means she's a little bit like Orpheus, which I think is also interesting. I think that's just who she is she makes people see the light in the darkness. Okay, we're moving on to the king of the story, Hades, who, like I said before, is Orpheus, but older. I know this is a weird theory, but I think he loved a woman deeply. We know he sang for her. We know he used to have a heart and cared for people. He's just changed.
What has become of the heart of that man? Now that he has everything. Where is your pleasure? Where is your youth? Where is the man with his arms outstretched to the woman he loves? Nothing to lose.
The only difference between him, younger him, and Orpheus is that he wouldn't have turned around if he was in Orpheus' place. I'll get to like the turning around thing later, because a lot of people say, I hate Orpheus, he turned around. No.
Love her everything I do. I do it for the love of you. If you don't even want my love, I'll give it to someone who does. Someone grateful for a thing. Someone who appreciates the comforts of a gilded cage and doesn't try to fly away the moment Mother Nature calls. Someone who could love these walls.
I think he cares a lot for his own benefit, and that's kind of how he became so corrupt, because he saw that he could get, oh, power, whoa, power, and he was like, baby, let me have it.
That everything and everyone in HADESTOWN I own.
He's grown so afraid that he'll lose what he owns.
I know him as like the god of riches and the god of death, because Nico Hazel. I don't know if anyone of you will get that reference, but that's okay. But I think that's the fact that he's the god of riches and death makes him the perfect allegory for a corrupt governmental official. And like, this whole thing is an allegory. That's why I'm making this video. But like, powers of riches, that's his thing. He uses propaganda to convince his citizens that what he's doing is right, and it gets his way.
Mr. Hades is a mean old boss.
With a silver whistle and a golden scale.
Rage is nothing and the work is hard. It's a graveyard in HADESTOWN.
Like, he knows how to read people. We see that in Hey Little Songbird, because he knows Eurydice's situation when he tricks her into joining the underworld. I think he uses this manipulation with like a lot of filler words, maybe even logical fallacies, and promises that will keep people in line. And that is like the most politician type thing to do.
Little songbird, you got something fine. You shine like a diamond down in the mines, and I could use a canary.
But don't you see? It's different with me. Different than who? They thought they were different too.
I think the purpose of HADESTOWN is that it's so applicable that Hades himself, being a brainwashing like dictator, could be applied to so many situations, from all the way in the past to like right this second, and even in the future. I really like how Hades is portrayed. I also think he believes what he's doing is completely correct. Like, I think he's lost himself. I think Persephone's kind of stayed the same as she was when she first met Hades, but he's kind of lost himself. I don't think he sees how good his life could be if he just lost his power and influence. I'm editing this right now, and I just wanted to add that I also think that the way Hades is acting is almost for Persephone. I think that they're on very different pages, okay? Hades thinks that his power and materialism will make Persephone like him, but Persephone doesn't want that. She only wants a guy who loves her, which kind of goes back to the whole materialistic things is less important than love kind of theme. Hades thinks that building all these walls will keep Persephone in, but that only makes Persephone want to leave him even more, which is why their love is so corrupt.
Now you know how it feels. Women are as slick as eels, warm and quicker than the asp, and always slipping from your grasp. If you want to hold a woman's son, hang a chain around her throat, made of many carat gold. Shackle her from wrist to wrist with sterling silver bracelets. Fill her pockets full of stones, precious ones, diamonds.
But I do think that when we see the heart of him, it's very impactful. Yeah. Okay, now we're moving on to Eurydice. I have a lot to say about Eurydice because she is so interesting, in my opinion at least. So we know she was been and young. We know she had to fend for herself.
He comes up, move to another town.
She sees how the world is and how it affects her, and yet she still gets trapped in situations that are unfair to her. And I feel like she was tormented by the fates for forever.
Wherever it was this young girl went, the fates were close behind.
Well, we know she's been running her entire life, even though all she wants is stability, and she has trust issues. She's been hurt before. She's constantly tired and restless because of how long she's been running.
In the end, you're better off alone. Anyway, when you do anything just to fill your belly full of food.
But she still wants to be protected. The only problem with her wanting to be protected is that there's no one to protect her, and she doesn't trust anyone to protect her. And the good thing about the fates is that they lead her to Orpheus, and Orpheus is, like, pivotal to who she is. Because he's too naive to really take advantage of her, which is something she's new to.
I didn't even know that I was lonely. This is how it's always been. All I've ever known is how to hold my own. But now I wanna hold you.
And he protects her and understands her, which is why chant is such like a shock to her, because when Orpheus leaves her to work on his song, it hurts her, and it's not just because she doesn't like Orpheus. I think she loves Orpheus, but it's because she's been left alone again after finally trusting someone. Like, she's let her guard down and she's left alone again.
Boy,
Hey, where you going?
you might say he was touched.
I have to finish this song.
We need food. Did you hear me, Orpheus?
Poor boy working on a sound.
Orpheus.
Young girl looking for something to eat.
Okay, finish it.
And then we get to Hades coming to Eurydice, and he promises her a sanctuary. He promises her no pain, and that's something Orpheus could not promise her.
I wanna fly down and feed at his hand. I want a nice soft place to land. I wanna lie down forever.
And I don't think she complies because she trusts Hades, I think she complies because she's on the verge of death already, and well, where's Orpheus? Orpheus is nowhere.
Suddenly, nothing is as it was. Where are you now, Orpheus?
Now the chips are down. Help yourself, help the rest. Even the one who loves you best. For the heart to shoot to kill. You don't do it, then the other one will. What you gonna do when the chips are down? Now that the chips are down.
Orpheus, my heart is yours. Always was and will be. It's my gut I can't ignore. Orpheus, I'm hungry.
But I think she represents like how people, even people who like are smart and clever and have all their walls up, can still be led astray. There's things people trust blindly, and I feel like that's what Eurydice did. Even though she's smart and she's capable, she still trusted Hades blindly because she was in this state of desperation and she just wanted to grab on anything she could. And that led to her downfall and eventually her death. Hi, editor me is back because filmer me was so tired that she didn't explain anything right. So we're gonna talk about what I gathered from her incoherent sentences. So Eurydice goes to the underworld and realizes that Hades wasn't telling the truth. She realizes that it isn't a paradise, and she realizes, I shouldn't have done this.
I have to go. Go where? Go back. Dreams are sweet until the night. Men are kind until they aren't. Someone on my side turned his face to mine, and then I turned away into the shade.
And she realizes that she would rather be with Hades, hungry and loved, than lost her individuality and can't even remember her own name because she's such a mindless worker. But the good news is that Orpheus comes back to the underworld to save her, which brings another level to her loving Orpheus, because I don't think anyone in her past would have done the same for her. And I think this is where she really starts appreciating Orpheus and loving Orpheus even more than when he promised her spring, because now she sees that he can change an entire community of people.
Can I take my face? Can I take my change your state of mind?
What about them?
We'll show the way. If we can do it, so can they.
And then we get to Epic 3, and we see that Orpheus and Eurydice are just like Persephone and Hades in a completely new light, where Hades and Orpheus have fallen in love in basically the same way.
You knew that you wanted to take her home.
You saw her alone there against the sky. It was like she was someone you'd always known.
Similarly, Persephone and Eurydice are a lot alike because they both want sanctuary. They both want a guy to love them, but the guy doesn't provide for them. The guy doesn't appreciate them, and that's what makes them have conflict with themselves and with their wife. But at this point in the story, besides for Chant and Eurydice leaving Orpheus to go to the underworld, Orpheus and Eurydice have gotten past that, and their relationship is fine. But then we get to Doubt Comes In, and that is a big one that needs to be talked about from Eurydice's perspective, and I'm going to talk about Orpheus too, obviously. But there's a lot of questions of whether Eurydice believes Orpheus did the right thing, or that she doesn't like him now because he left her, because he looked around and because he didn't trust her. I don't think Orpheus looked back out of not trusting Eurydice. I think it was more about Hades and not trusting himself. And I still have a section on Orpheus, so I'm not going to go too far into that. But I think Eurydice understands that, and I think she mostly just accepts her death. And as much as it sucks, their look in the last scene, to me, signifies that Eurydice is just like, okay, I've lived my life, at least I found this love, I'm accepting being in Hadestown. Which is really sad, but I don't know, I just don't feel like she'd hate Orpheus. Eurydice, by the time she's done with Doubt Comes In, she's just appreciating the fact that at least Orpheus can get out of the underworld and at least he won't be trapped. And we kind of see that in Raise Our Cups.
Wherever he is wandering, alone upon the earth, let all our singing follow him and bring him comfort.
But now I'm going to move on to Orpheus, our final and last character. So, we know he's naive, and he only sees the world how it could be and not how it truly is. We hear that in like every freaking song.
You might say he was naive to the ways of the world. He could make you see how the world could be. In spite of the way that it is.
There's a lot of important aspects to Orpheus' character besides for him being naive. And I think, if it's true, was a big turning point for the show because Orpheus finally sees the world for what it is instead of just what it could be.
Is this how the world is? To be beaten and betrayed and then be told that nothing changes. It will always be like this. I believe our answer matters more than anything they say. I believe there is a way. I believe in us together more than anyone alone. I believe that with each other we are stronger than we know. And it isn't for you to tell me anyone is true.
But also, talking about Eurydice again, the way he taught her about the goodness of the world, she kind of taught him that that we're in a cruel world, and there's a way we have to act in this cruel world, and that helps him understand Hades, which ultimately helps Hades give them the chance to get out of the underworld. I know I'm going like all over the show right now. I'm going from like the end to the middle to the beginning to the end, but I feel like Orpheus is sensitive and heartfelt.
She will always fill our cups. And we will always raise him up to the world we dream about. And the one we live in now.
It makes a man like Hades break down through the power of song. And he's selfless and I just think that's really important to note.
Black hole flows in the world down below, and their dark clouds roll in the world. Look up! The seasons are warm, and the wind is so strong. That's why times are so hard. It's because of the gods. The gods have forgotten the song of their love. What he doesn't know is that what he's defending is already gone.
Even so, he is young Hades, because I think he turns around because he doesn't trust Hades, and therefore he doesn't trust himself.
Who do I think I am? Who am I to think that she would follow me into the cold and dark again? Why would he let me win? Why would he let her go? Who am I to think that he wouldn't deceive me just to make me leave him alone? Is this a trap that's being laid for me? Is this a trick that's being played on me? I used to see the way the world can be. This is all I see.
He thought, maybe I'll walk outside alone. Maybe I was tricked, because he doesn't trust Hades, but it's also about him not trusting himself. Because remember, he was the reason she got into the underworld anyways, because he was distracted. So it's like he blames Hades, but it's also his fault. That's my stuff about HADESTOWN. I really hope you enjoyed my little rant. It's really late, so half of this video probably didn't make sense. I might edit it and then realize it sucks and never post it. But if I do post it, hello, I hope you enjoyed. I had a lot of fun making this because I really like HADESTOWN. Like a lot. And I don't know. Tell me what you guys think. I might be wrong about the characters. I don't know if any of that made sense, but I hope it did. And if you disagree, tell me. If you don't disagree, tell me how much you liked my theories and thoughts. Yeah? Okay, great. Thank you for listening, and I hope you guys have a beautiful day.